Don't date women with kids, took an incel to lunch today. I'm a 35-year-old man, and today I did a favor for my wife, who is the concierge manager at a Niagara Falls hotel. Her friend's brother is moving to my city, and my wife helped him secure a job at the hotel where she works. You asked me to take him out to lunch and show him around the city because he's super socially awkward and has no friends here. He's 25 years old. For the sake of this post, I'll call him Cletus. I picked up Cletus, and socially awkward doesn't even begin to describe how socially inept he is. He's a bit rude and crude, and I don't particularly like him. However, I remained polite. I had promised to take him out, so I did. We embarked on a city tour, visiting places like the Ripley's Museum and an arcade, and then we had lunch at a small diner. While we were seated near the door, eating our meal and awkwardly conversing, a woman entered the restaurant, pushing a stroller, and she was alone. It was as if a switch flipped in Cletus's head because his demeanor drastically changed. He went from being merely awkward to openly disgusted and angry. That's when his true nature emerged. I asked Cletus what was wrong, and he answered by saying, "That's disgusting." I inquired, "What's disgusting?" He replied, "Her, right there." I looked at him, puzzled, and asked, "What's wrong with the mom pushing her kid?" He said, "Oh, she's ruined." I didn't understand, so I responded, "Eh?" He literally said, "She is. She parties too much and opens her legs for everyone. Now she has to face the consequences, and he feels sorry for the kid." I remained utterly confused, so I had to ask, "What do you mean?" because I genuinely couldn't comprehend his perspective at that point. He said, "It's because women like to open their legs left and right. Good guys like himself can't find a woman because they're all easy. They all have kids. He would never consider dating a woman with kids because they're all used up." He also claimed that single mothers raise kids to be prostitutes or criminals and that they can't do it without a man. He believed that kids needed a proper man in their lives to grow up as effective adults. I sat there, shocked, and managed to say, "Oh, wow." I asked Cletus, "Are you sure you're all right?" Seriously, you see a woman walking with her kid to a restaurant at 12:30 in the afternoon, and you instantly think single mother, that whore. You know nothing about her. She's in a restaurant. She's busy. She's hungry. But you see her by herself pushing a stroller, and you just think she's easy. I pointed out, even in your argument, you made points on why you should date a woman with kids for the kid's sake. You said the kid needs a man in their life or they're going to be a criminal. So why not be that guy? Why not step up to the plate? Why not meet a good woman and be a dad to those kids? For society, so they don't grow up to be criminals because you're such a good guy. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. The woman had been seated by this time, just a short distance from us. A really good-looking man walked into the restaurant, scanned the area, spotted her, walked over, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and sat down. It turned out to be her husband. I was utterly disgusted with Cletus at this point, and I had other plans to show him the city that day. I told him, "Hey, man, I'm going to pay for the food, and we're getting out of here. I'm taking you home." On the drive back, when we got in front of his apartment, I said, "Cletus, I've got something to say to you before you go. You've got to fix your attitude. You've got to change your way of thinking towards people. If you keep this up, you're going to be a very sad and lonely man. Women can tell when you're just a bad person, the kind of person you are can be seen without words. When I met you, when you first got in my car, I knew something was off. I didn't know exactly what, but I could tell. You really need to work on that, or you'll never be happy." That was it. He got out and went inside. Later that day, when you got home, I told her everything, and I made it clear that I wouldn't be taking him out again and couldn't be friends with this guy. Edit, just need to say thank you to my wife you. I typed this out but she was kind enough to edit it for me so it was not a hot mess of run-on sentences and poor grammar and punctuation. Edit, holy shit you're not going to believe this. He just saw this post his sister just called my wife because he called her crying. I don't even use his real name. He saw this post and wants me to take it down. I'm totally not going to do that.